Hi, everybody. Thanks for your patience in participating again in a flipped experience. And once again, I do think that it's a good thing to do, and especially with what I have planned for you, because it's a lot easier when you can get your hands on the technology to really look at some of these things and see it and process it rather than maybe me presenting it. So I do appreciate it. Hopefully now I'm in Taiwan and observing our student teachers and enjoying and learning things in the classrooms over there. So I'll be excited to tell about my tales when I come home. Really, all I'm going to do is kind of give you a brief introduction on this first flip lecture that I have, just so that you know. I kind of planned this one so it has a little bit more content in it than the second one for Thursday. And all of the activities that will be due for, like this one, for me, the due date is November 13th. So, like next Sunday by 9 o'clock. Sunday, November 13th at 9 o'clock. So just kind of keep that in mind. I'm giving you a little bit of time to come in and come out of the activities that I especially have planned for this one. And then the second one doesn't have quite as much. It does have a project associated with it a little bit. I think you'll be able to see what I'm thinking, but it doesn't have quite as many steps, okay? But these steps are kind of small steps, but you have to kind of go through each one. So just so that you know, as this should look familiar, and what we're doing now for the next couple of weeks, or especially in your labs and so forth, we're going to be talking about the content knowledge being science. And so I think you'll kind of enjoy this exploration because it's something that we don't see quite so often in elementary education or our elementary classrooms. A lot of times what we're seeing, you guys, is there's such an emphasis on literacy and math that kind of science and social studies get left out. So we want to make sure that that content gets into your classrooms as you think about teaching at the elementary level or early childhood level and what that involves. So you guys, obviously, you're watching the introduction. The next thing that I would like you to do is Dr. Christy Tank has done a video for me where she talks about the content, and she kind of goes through the Iowa core standards and the next generation science standards and how it's interpreted. You're going to be able to see her kind of manipulate things on the screen, and so that kind of leads into this number 3, okay? I do want you to spend some time looking at the Iowa Color Standards and pick at least one grade level to kind of explore at length. And I want you to kind of think of it in terms of, like, what is the science content that I will teach at that grade level, okay? I don't really want to go too much into this because I really want you to explore it. But, you know, say I picked 3rd grade, I'll just go kind of, and Dr. Tank will talk about, you know, how each one has physical science, life science, earth and space sciences, and then look at here, engineering, technology, and applications of science. So what you need to do there, you guys, is you just need to go in there and kind of dig down into, okay, what is it that I'm going to have to teach 3rd graders about motion, specifically forces and interactions? And then I'm going to have you talk about that. So you might want to take some notes and kind of think about what content am I going to teach, okay? You guys, there's not really a wrong answer to this, okay? I just want you to become familiar with the science concepts that you would teach at these grade levels. And again, you just really have to look at one, but look at it in depth, okay? Science in our classrooms have to be just more than these isolated activities that we do, okay, for fun. Science, because of the Iowa Core and other efforts, it's more articulated, and we want to be careful with that, okay? So keep that in mind. So I put up the Next Generation Science Standards up there too as an extra if you just want to see how those compare with what the Iowa Core looks like. The Iowa Core probably is not as specific, so you just to have that reference, and it's on other places in our Blackboard as well. So then after you complete that, okay, after you get that investigation done, then I would like you to complete this form. And again, this form by Sunday, November 13th, but there's just a couple questions there, but it deals with, you guys, give me at least 3 content kind of items that you're going to teach at that grade level. Because again, it's hard for me to situate the technology in this if you don't know the content, okay? So keep that in mind. Then we're going to switch to the other circle of TPAC and talk about the pedagogy that what we see mostly used at the elementary level with science. Dr. Tank talks about this model, and it's called the 5E inquiry model. With this one, you guys, the first one is a very, very short video. It just gives you a ding, ding, ding. Here are the 5 steps of this model and what you do at each of those steps. Okay, so I'm just kind of giving you a precursor, an advanced organizer to what you'll see in your methods courses. But again, for me to illustrate, here's the content, here's some pedagogical approaches, and then what's the technology that we could use, okay? And then this is just the handout. The video goes so quickly that I made a little handout that you might want to take note of or make a copy of or something so that you have it in your notes, and it's kind of a good cheat sheet, so that's all that is. And then number 6 here is the the inquiry method, okay, in action. And so what it does is it shows an actual 2nd grade classroom going through the steps of an inquiry lesson. So I thought you'd enjoy seeing that, using the technology to kind of see, okay, this is what it would look like. Pay close attention to especially the questions being asked and then what students do in those steps, okay? Very, very important. It's only about a 7-minute video, so it's not like you're going to watch an hour video, but they do break it apart, and then they have the kids talk about their experiences about learning this way, okay? So I think that's very important. Then to conclude it, I am going to pull in a little bit of technology here, and what I've done is I didn't want to get this giant list of science websites. So what I've done is really just opened up like 5 that I think are just premier science websites that teachers incorporate into their classrooms. Science 360, NASA, and this is particular or specific to K4, Discovery Kids, National Geographic Kids, and Magic School Bus. Okay, those of you in ECE might be really, really interested in the Magic School Bus. Okay, and so just spend a little bit of time. Just spend a little bit of time going through those websites. But your exit ticket out is exploring one specifically, and then just responding to a quick question or two about, again, now situate, what did you learn about the content? What have you learned about teaching that content in this short little lecture here or flipped experience? And then by seeing those websites, did you find some activities, some games, some content? What could you incorporate into a lesson about the content that you learned about, okay? So you might have to dig deep, but see if you can align it, or if you just see something on that website that you think you could really use, just talk about it, okay? So the exit tickets and things, everything, we'll call her quits. You have over a week to do this. We'll call her quits. It's Sunday night, November 13th at 9 o'clock, okay? So my goal here is for you to kind of be introduced to the big package of TPAC around science. The content, so you have to explore it. You're going to be teachers. You got to know what you're going to teach, okay? Be introduced to the pedagogical approach that most science teachers, elementary teachers use at that level, the 5E inquiry model, and then start introducing some technology with you that can enhance and hopefully innovate the way that you might use some things in the classroom with kids, okay? So, hope this works fine for you, and I hope that it situates you in TPAC and science, and this will be kind of the first flip, and then please go to the other folder to learn about kind of the second activity that I would like you to think about, okay? Thanks a lot, and you guys have a terrific week, and I'll see you when I get back on the 15th, okay? Thanks.